Hey guys, this is James here from eBassGuitar, and this is a quick video because I've had a question from David, who's one of my Bass Lab Plus subscribers, about how to move the box shape, which we commonly move around the neck, into the open positions. So I'm going to talk about what I'm going to call the fretted positions and the open positions. This is something that can cause quite a bit of confusion. So what I thought I'd do is actually make a video for everyone on this, because once you get your head around this, it will really start to open up the neck. So to put this in context, David's taking the Riff Masters course on there, which is all about moving the box shape riffs around the neck. And particularly we are dealing with the minor pentatonic. So I'm just going to play that to you now. So in the key of A, that is going to be A, C, D, E, G, A. So root, minor third, fourth, fifth, flat seven, and then octave. So just go up and down like that. And so those of you already familiar with this kind of stuff, you will know that we can move this box shape, because it looks a little bit like a box, around the neck. And this is kind of a core skill that we need as bass players, to be able to confidently move these around the neck, because this is what will start to open up our understanding of the fingerboard and also our fingerboard knowledge too. But where this concept starts to kind of get just a touch more complicated, because basically the shapes start to change, is when we hit the open positions here. So I want to explain to you now exactly how I go about teaching this and how I think about it in my head. So what we're going to do is we're going to deal with the E minor pentatonic first of all. So I'm going to take the E here, the A minor that we've already talked about, like this, and then I'm going to put it into E here, and all we do is literally shift that shape up to the 7th fret on the A string. So fingers 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1. Okay, and so that is the shape in E. Now, what we can do now is put this down the octave and use the open positions now. The shapes start to change a little bit, so I'm going to talk about how I conceptualize this. So the important thing is that we've got this one finger per fret concept going on with our fingers basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our first finger down here and take it to the open string. And what I want to do is conceptualize everything, or imagine rather, everything that's played with my first finger is an open string. And I'm going to go as far as laying my finger across the nut. Obviously I can't press anything down here, but that will give us the basis of our shape. And then what we want to do is create the minor pentatonic from it. So if we go 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, we're going to put our first finger on the nut, because that is kind of our open strings, and then second finger at the first fret, third fret at the third finger at the second fret, and then fourth finger at the third fret. Okay, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm demonstrating a concept about this to you, and in reality you might want to switch up your fingers going forward. I certainly do, and I don't think anybody does this would actually ever use this fingering in reality, but what it is, it's a way to teach the concept, which is the critical thing to understand here. So if we want to take this shape, the 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, and move it down here, what we do is we go 1, and then we put our fourth down like this, and then our next finger will be a 1, which is an open string, and then we'll put our third finger down like this, and then our next finger will be a 1, which is an open, like this, and then put down our third finger. And then we've created the shape again in the open positions. And then you can go up and down the shape like that. And then if you wanted to shift this from the key of E minor into the key of A minor, so our root note is going from this E here to the A there, And in fact, it's the same set of notes, identical set of notes that I first demonstrated the A minor pentatonic to you with. Right at the start of this lesson, is we will lay our first finger again over the nut here, stretch our fingers out one finger per fret and go. So we're going to go A, C, D, E, G, A, like so. And that, for me, is the best way of starting to understand the differences between what I'm going to call the fretted positions and the open positions. Once you get comfortable with this, what you can do is you can get your first finger out the mix and just use a more comfortable set of fingers. So in this instance here, if I'm playing the E minor pentatonic, I would go E, G, A, B, D, E, and go 1, 2, 1, sorry, open, 2, open, 1, open, 1. And this is a different shape. It feels different. It looks different on the neck. And it just takes a little while to understand. And if you're kind of getting a little bit frustrated with this, please don't kind of freak out. It's natural that this will take a little while to settle in, but once you get it inside you, it'll seem really perfectly logical. So I want to demonstrate this in action. I'm going to actually take something from Riff Master's course, and one of the chord sequences that I demonstrate in this is the chord sequence E to G to A to C. So open E, open G, open A, and open C. And we're going to use one of the riffs. I'm just going to I've got it up on the screen in front of me, so let's pick a riff that we're going to use. So I'm going to pick something quite simple. So riff number 3 here, so which goes 1, 2, and then D, E, G, A. So root 4, 5, flat 7, 8. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2. We're going to now move this throughout the open positions, using the open position from E. Then we go into the fretted position at the G at the 3rd fret, and then A using the open position, and then C using the fretted position. So let's talk through this just to take you through the original riff once more. So we need to now move that. So root 4, 5, flat 7, 8 into the open position now. So I'm going to use the same idea of resting my first finger across the nut to create that shape. So we're going to go open, and then we're going to go to the 4th, which is the open A, 5th, which is the B on the 3rd finger, D, and then to the octave there. Now that's pretty uncomfortable to me, so rather than using my 3rd finger there, I'm just going to use my 1st. 1, 2. So that's the E. Then we're going to move it up to the G, and we can just use the standard shape, the standard box shape. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we're going to go to the A, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that is using the same shape that we used, the open position shape. 1. You could use it with your first finger on the nut if you want to. 1, 2, 1, 2. Like so. And then we are going to go up to the C there, which is using the fretted shape. 1, 2, 2. So you can see this chord sequence beautifully demonstrates going between the open shape to the fretted shape. Now I'm going to put it with the backing track that I created for this, so you can just see this in concept, switching between the two. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is so glad you made it using the third riff from the Riff Masters bass course. I need to talk about one thing which makes this slightly tricky here, because we're dealing with the limitations of the instrument, particularly a 4-string bass that I'm playing. You might have a pentatonic shape, and I use these in the Riff Masters course where we go back. And rather than getting flat 7 there, we actually go back like this. So dum, like so. The problem we've got is if we take a riff that drops from our root down to the flat 7, we've got to make sure that we've got the range available on the instrument. If we're moving this into E, quite frankly, on a 4-string bass, we don't have the range available. If you had a 5-string bass, you'd have a low D and it would work. So that's one of the reasons you might want to choose to play a 5-string bass. Do check out my 5 steps to 5 strings video that came out I think last week, and that'll take you through some of the pluses and minuses of using 5-string basses. But we do have some limitations when we are using some of these riffs. Not absolutely everything will work in every instance across the neck. So that particular shape that I was just playing there, which is from the Riff Masters course, is not going to work in E, but it will work in A in the open position. But we start creating this whole kind of new shape that's sort of crawling out the woodwork here. Music for me is full of times when we have to slightly break the rules. We can put rules to music, but there are always points, because there's art to it and there's limitations to how instruments are built. There's times when rules won't work 100% all over the neck, but near as damn it, we can try and put rules, we can put sort of frameworks and guidelines to these things to make them work. So that is a quick video that I'm making that just shows you how my way of conceptualizing moving the fretted box shape into the open position. So we have create, I guess, the open box shape from there, and it's all about imagining what your first finger is doing on the fretted box shape as the open strings, and that will conceptually give you the shape to use down here. And once you've got that shape down, you feel comfortable with what it is, do sort of take the shape apart and use the fingers that are comfortable in that position. So yeah, I've been James here from eBassGuitar.com. I hope that's a useful lesson. If you've enjoyed it, please do like and share. Please do comment below, ask any questions. Let me know if you use the open strings or you prefer using the box shapes, the fretted shapes all over the neck, because the bass is this crazy sort of geometric animal where we have all these shapes on across the neck. Yeah, just let me know how you're getting on. I'd love to hear from you. Cheers. I have been James from eBassGuitar.com, and I will catch you next time. Cheers for now. Bye bye.